No, it's got a different ride characteristic.
Okay.
There's some magic to it. This is all original paint.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Guys, check out this lug work. On a lady's frame, no less.
Hey guys, this is John and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going all the way back to the fall where we visited Colorado. You saw me visit Rich Gangle out there and his collection of bikes, the Eddie Merckx collection that he built. You saw me go see Seth at Golden Velo. What else? I stopped in Ames, Iowa and visited Jeffrey Bach to order a custom steel frame. And then after that, all of that, I went to visit a gentleman named Mike Kone. If you don't know him, stick around because you should. He's got a #1 collection in the country. He owned Renee Herse. I can never say that correctly. Renee Herse, whatever. Renee Herse. He owned that for a little while. Got some history there. And he has another mail order company called Boulder Bicycle. But wow, this collection is just stupid. And we start into it today, and you'll probably see a part 2 on it in a couple weeks. But stay tuned. Let's get rolling. Hey guys, this is John. Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm with my friend Mike, and you can tell from the mountains behind us, we are in Boulder, Colorado. And you guys thought I had a crazy collection. Wait till you check out his.
Hey Mike, where are we at?
We're in North Boulder, Colorado, and here's a little museum area that I've set up that features part of my collection. And it's open to the public by appointment, or we'll have some limited hours.
Hey, what's with the Renee Herse sign?
I actually used to own the Renee Herse company. I had purchased it from Lily in 2007, and it's subsequently been sold.
Well, that's awesome. Well, cool. Well, I think we'll do a separate video on that whole history of that brand because I think it's really interesting to a lot of people. So show me around.
All
Where
right.
do you want to start?
All righty. Oh, this is kind of fun for Campagnolo fans. We have these Campagnolo wheels, and looks like a giant pedal box over there.
Those are the lug nuts. I don't think those are going to fit on my bike, but
Yeah.
those are cool. You don't see those very often, do you?
Nope.
And whoops, I want to look at that. and
a few interesting early derailleurs.
Right. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever seen those. Look at these old toe clips. That's pretty cool. And some posters. Let's look around. We got some old parts.
Well, yeah, there's actually
What's that front derailleur there?
That's an old Simplex, and then behind it we have an old Campagnolo skewer that was made in France.
Oh, no, okay.
After the war, they were making some parts under license. There's a Campy T-wrench that's actually brazed together, and some other early Campagnolo skewers.
Wow, check out this derailleur. What's this Hooray derailleur?
That's an old Hooray root derailleur. It's in the package. It's got its shifter and cable with it.
That's cool. And you got an original, let's see, a Tour de France derailleur. You got the Hooray shifter. First gen Dura-Ace.
And that's important. That's an early Campagnolo steel seat post.
Oh, that's not something you see every day.
No.
Oh, all right, cool. And then it's this ratty old tire.
This ratty old tire is actually constructed just like a sew-up tire, but from the 1930s. And it's really just a handmade cloth tire, just to be incredibly fast. There is no tire in 650B made like this today.
From 1937.
Yes.
That's really cool.
And check this out. This is a seat where you can actually adjust the fore-aft position with this lever here.
Oh, that's
Being
kind of cool.
Yeah.
What do you got next to that?
Oh, next to this is a lovely steel stem. But look, it's Reynolds 5312 tubing.
that's something you see every day.
Yeah, nice Brooks Swallow saddle. The nicer ones are the ones with that fancy stitching there.
That's pretty cool.
And then here's an old Titan handlebar and stem. And actually, a lot of these parts were used on Paramounts in the 1960s. You'll see Titan
so this
stem.
is 60s era.
This is 1960s here.
Oh, this is awesome. You would have saw that in the shop way back when.
Yeah, they're probably a little stiff and dry at this point.
Yeah, not going to work, right?
But they look good for display.
Yeah.
And look at these early tire savers.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Those are the original tire savers, not the ones I used to sell back in the 80s with the rubber.
No, yeah.
That's the original ones.
Yeah, these are pretty fun.
That's cool. All right, where am I going?
We
got a few bikes. Now, guys, we're going to be all over the place looking at bikes, but we're going to do a brief synopsis on a few of these. A boulder bike. What the heck is a boulder bike?
Well, at the time when we were doing the Renee Herse bicycles, we wanted a less expensive line, And this bicycle was actually made at Waterford for us.
Oh, Waterford built this.
Yeah, Waterford built some lugged and some TIG welded ones for us. This bicycle is actually featured in a Bicycling magazine article.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's a 700C Randon bicycle.
Cool.
So,
And then you see a lot of Raleighs here.
yeah, I seem to be have a Raleigh addiction.
Yeah.
Part of it, it's really a nostalgia play. I grew up working in a shop that sold Raleighs,
All right.
and the Team Raleighs, those are the real fancy ones. This one's actually pretty unique. This is a Team Raleigh with a pretty fancy what they call Capella lug set.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of these early Raleighs used French metric diameter tubing. This is one of the few that had the regular diameter tubes. So it's a kind of a unique duck.
Gotcha.
And then this is the 9th bike. If people aren't aware, Raleigh set up a fancy production facility in Ilkston where they did the top quality special order bikes. This is the 9th bike out of that facility.
Oh, wow.
What
year is this? 73?
That would be right around 73. It's all first generation Campanella Super record. What's interesting about this too is it turns out there are 2 number 9s in the world. They actually lost count when they were making the bikes, and there's another one that's nearly identical, but it's also serial numbered with the same number.
That's funny.
And there's
That's
so few of these, people kind of keep track of what's out there.
What else we got here? We got an
wanna-
international. What year is that?
That is 1974.
Okay.
And people love the internationals because they have a little bit of a more relaxed geometry.
They do, yeah.
Yeah. Here's a
You got a
Raleigh
Pro.
Here's the Pro. That was their top end race bike. This one's really clean, barely ridden.
That's sharp. Now, I have the same exact bike, Mike. I don't know if you know that. Same year and everything. But I have a 73 with the Capella lugs. I am looking for the copper one. So I'm a little envious. Now, what's an RRA? I'm not as familiar with that.
Raleigh was starting to get concerned in the early 70s that they may have difficulties sourcing Campanella components. There might be shortages. So they spec'd a full French-equipped version of their top-end race bike.
No, I didn't know that.
It's got some crazy things like campy vertical dropouts. But what's especially interesting about this bike is they hit the geometry and design perfectly. People love the way these bikes ride.
Was it similar to an international or anything else? Or is it
No,
different?
it's got a different ride characteristic.
Okay.
There's some magic to it. Yeah.
This one I'm a little bit familiar with. I know they started making bikes in Japan. And this is what, the Superb?
Right.
And they actually, didn't they make a Rampart Superb as well? It was the same bike, but with a Rampart name on it.
They might have.
Yeah, I've seen those.
I'm not sure. And this is actually the second version. The first one's actually had Reynolds tubing that they must have brought over, but this has the Japanese Champion tubing, the full Superb group, which is just, I really like that group.
I love that group. I love the finish on it.
It's got great character.
It's a satiny finish. And
yeah, ooh, the saddle's very incorrect.
Uh-oh, it's illegal.
Oh, no.
We'll forgive you.
Oh, no.
It's okay.
Send me to vintage bike jail.
You'll be okay.
Okay.
And then we got a Carlton, and just as brief as you can, the relationship with Carlton and Raleigh.
Okay, Carlton from the 1930s was known for making super nice high-end bikes that were kind of semi-production. They were affordable. They were a little less expensive than Hetchins, but they rode great. Raleigh bought the Carlton name in 1960 because Raleigh wanted to basically, buy into that prestige name. And this one was made for a California dealer. This is actually right around 1958. This is before the buyout. And these were came through a shop called Hans Ort in California. And these are just known as great riding bikes, and one of the few really high-end bikes that came into the U.S. during that 1950s period. There weren't a lot of derailleur bikes coming into the country at that time.
Now, I noticed a couple Peugeots, or anything significant about those.
Yeah, these aren't your typical Peugeots. Peugeot in the 1970s, similar to what Raleigh did by creating the high-end Ilkston works, Peugeot set up their special factory to make the high-end team race bikes and frames for custom orders. Frequently, they used the Reynolds lightweight tubing, the SL, with that red decal. And
yeah, I don't see that red decal very often.
No, but it makes for a real kind of zingy, light, springy ride. It's great. People love it. And it's just got a lot of cool drill parts. It's a late 70s bike.
Is this original paint?
This is original paint.
Oh,
it's
you're
been
killing
barely ridden.
You're just killing me.
That's why I had to get it. It was,
you know, guys, I like my garage queens, you know, hate to say it, but I do.
Yeah.
But this is just, it's got to be uber rare. I mean, how many of these are
there are not many. You can see that the pivots for the brakes are actually brazed onto the
Oh,
fork.
that's right. Look
Yeah,
at
it
that.
makes the brakes work really, they're very stiff. And, you know, Peugeot and sponsored like Bernard Thévenet and, you know, won the Tour on a bike like that. So
That is sharp.
But the thing is, in early 80s, demand kind of slackened a little bit. Then what happened is they moved the high-end facility into the main factory, and they did this bike with these chevron decals. This has really crisp workmanship. It's clearly, you know, a much more limited production bike. This bike rides great. What's neat about actually both of these, this one to a greater extent, this bike still has room for a pretty wide tire. And I love bikes with wider tires that you can still use on asphalt, but you can also take it on some light gravel.
Right.
Yeah.
But you really can't do it like the 90s bikes and that. Anything bigger than a 25C, you're stuck in the mud.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a good point, John, because then you come over here and you see the Geos from around 1986. This was Geos did an anniversary bike, and this is the first of the anniversary bikes that they made. They made it for a bicycle importer, Othon Ochsner.
Oh, sure.
And this they built specifically for him. It says a certification that it's the first of their anniversary bikes was done for Othon. But look over here. Look how close that tire is to the seat tube. Yeah, there's not.
Surprised they didn't put a divot in there like some of the others.
Yeah, so this bike is very, you know, much more typical of an 80s bike where, you know, it's an upright geometry. Americans were doing a lot of criterium racing. But then you look at, in contrast to here's a late 60s, and it would have been similar in the 70s, this older Schinelli. Look at that wide tire here that you can get in there. And this bike, you can ride this on gravel. You can use this in rotation as a modern, you know, bike you ride daily for the kind of riding that we really like to do.
This is cool. This is what year?
This would be probably about 1968. And this is kind of set up as a vintage resto-mod. It's set up where we got the longer cage plates on the derailleur, but rather than using a more modern crank, we've got a Strong-Lite 49D.
Sure.
So we've now made this bike to go onto gravel roads. You can get up the big hills with the gearing. It just makes it a user bike that you can enjoy.
Got some more stuff in a case. We got, oh, look at this freewheel.
Yeah, we got some Regina titanium freewheels.
Oh, that's crazy. Look at this, guys. A Regina titanium. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, and then below is the Regina titanium chain.
I didn't even know that existed. I'm learning tons, guys. I don't know about you. I know I am. Then it looks like we got a...
This was found recently in Argentina. It's a new in the box Campagnolo Cambio Corsa shifter set. It's even got the little decal that you can put on your frame.
Oh, wow. I got 4 of these. Just kidding. Yeah. I want that sign, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a Zeffel. I remember buying those in the 80s.
Yeah. Come on down over here. John, check this out. Look at this frame over here. Look at the shaped tubing.
Okay.
Look at that diameter.
That looks smooth.
What year do you think this is from?
Well, you know, just from the things I could see, it looks like it's from the 60s, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we think this may be as early as pre-World War II.
No way.
Yeah, Barra was also...
I'm going to spin you around because the light behind you, Mike. So let's see. I really want to get a good look at this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, it's got cantilevers.
Yeah, and actually Barra was, some people credit Barra with actually being the inventor of the cantilevers.
Oh, no kidding. Guys, this is the real history stuff. We never do bikes this old on the channel. I'd like to get your opinion on whether or not you want to see more of this kind of thing. But yeah, here's your cable or your chain tensioner, derailleur, if you will, and then single shifter.
And this is a Randonneur bike. It would be designed for fenders. It would have a rack on the rear. And actually, I don't have it here, but there's actually a gas welded rear aluminum rack that goes with this bike.
That's crazy. So this is TIG welded in
not TIG.
No?
This, I believe, is gas welded. And it's kind of like a lost art to gas weld aluminum. And this is actually a high magnesium content aluminum.
Gotcha.
But actually in the automotive world, there are people who can gas weld aluminum, but it's very much a lost art. If you need your work done like that on your car, you're going to search for someone who can do it.
That is just crazy. Yeah. Oh, here's the description on it. Yeah, pre-war. Hey guys, if you want to read this, just pause the video and take a look. And then we got a Hurlo bike.
Yeah.
And full campy.
Yeah.
What year about?
This is
71.
Roughly 71. Hurlo was kind of known as the builder's builder. People such as Richard Sachs cite Hurlo as being someone who was a major influence on their building career. But you can notice that just the really crisp lug edges, and take a look at the seat cluster, and it's got this really neat pinstriping. This is all original paint.
That's beautiful. Look at that, guys.
Yeah, the graphics were amazing. And Hurlo is actually known for very, very ornate lug sets as well. And Hurlo also is known for fillet brazed bikes, often time trial bikes, because time trialing was very prevalent in the UK.
Now here's a 08 Renee Herse. Is this?
Yeah, this was.
This is from when you owned the brand.
Right at the time when I owned the brand. This was the first frame we constructed. This has handmade lugs built by Mark Nobilette.
Oh wow!
Great builder in northern Colorado, and you can see just those crisp lug edges. But again, 2 pieces of tubing were welded together. The center was bored out, and then fillet brazed to fill it in and make it a little smoother. And these are the lugs he did. And this was the first one we did.
Beautiful.
2008. And this bike we presented at the NABS bike show as a full bike, and eventually it'll go back together as a full bike.
That is just sharp.
Actually, we should take a quick look at the Condorino. Take a look at the handlebars. That kind of makes a shape kind of like a condor. So that's why they call them Condorinos. And the thing about this bike is that it's not really ultra lightweight tubing, but it's a really aggressive geometry. So you could just imagine some, young Italian business person zipping through the streets of Milan, on the way to their work, on this bike.
We're going to come on back. We got some other things going on.
Actually, here's just a little thing. My old business, I had a business partner at the time too. I owned Bicycle Classics.
Oh.
We were one of the early purveyors of vintage bicycle parts.
Okay.
And I have a note here that is now owned by Greg Parker in Fort Collins, and he's actually now sold off the business. So.
Gotcha. And what's your business?
Mine is Boulder Bicycle.
Oh.
And we now focus on vintage lightweight parts pretty much by mail order. And, I'm the business that if 11 at night you say, okay, I want to buy some derailleur cables and some brake hoods, we can help you out.
You did that for me. Matter of fact, I remember you said you came in special to get the stuff out, and I got some hoods and some, I think a chain and some other things. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the service. And what in the world? Guys, check out this lug work. On a lady's frame, no less. This is beautiful. Now this thing is crazy. For a lady's bike, this thing is well beyond most I've ever seen. Can you tell me a little something about this?
Well, first of all, it kind of looks like the love child between a 1957 Chevy and a Ferrari. I mean, look at this. You've got this kind of basic seat. You got these plastic pedals.
Right.
You got the rack.
Look at this, guys. A brazen
Pletcher rack. But then you look at the parts. This strong light crank was the highest level race crank that they made. It's got the Campagnolo derailleurs. It's got Campagnolo Barcon shifters. It's got Campagnolo hubs.
This is nuts. This is totally nuts. I love it.
Yeah.
This is something, if my wife was to get a vintage bike, this is exactly what she would ride. This is just totally cool. Well, awesome. Gosh, there's so much to look at here. Oh, we got some Paramounts. We got Chrome one. Now, there's something, I think you told me something special about this one. What was it?
Well, this bicycle is a 79 Paramount in chrome. They weren't typically chroming frames in 79.
Right.
Talking to Richard Schwinn and the folks there, they're like, something's interesting about that. Sent him the serial number.
Mm-hmm.
The name on the build card is Edward Schwinn. So most likely this was done for a family member of the Schwinn family.
Right. Gosh. Yeah, it's interesting too. When I looked at the decals, and I don't think I've ever seen a chrome Paramount with this decal? It's usually, these are the decals I'm usually seeing on a Cone Paramount.
Right, because this bike is kind of an anomaly. It was
Right,
made
absolutely.
just before they stopped making bikes in Chicago.
Great, got another one here.
And here's a more typical Paramount, but really, really clean workmanship. It's a Don Maitland bike, I believe.
Yeah, has got the P on the bottom bracket. And guys, Don Maitland built bikes for Schwinn when Schwinn didn't have enough capacity. Or if I think you had told me earlier, if there was a chrome one, Don made it because the quality, the workmanship was different, allowed them to chrome. Let's see, we got a, oh, guys, look at this. Come on.
Yeah, check out the drilling on the crank.
Gosh, that's gorgeous.
That was a special Eddie Merckx version, Colnago, that they did. It was around the 72 or 3.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Look at the drilling. You got the drilling going on. And now this is a typical super, right?
Yeah, and you know, some of the early Colnago workmanship was amazing. They did some great stuff.
That is gorgeous. And then I got a Merckx.
Yeah, not quite a Merckx.
No, it's a DeRosa.
Yeah, look under the bottom bracket. Look at that.
Oh, look at this.
That's the
oh, got the heart.
Yeah.
All
so the best
dirt was included too.
It is, yeah. It is believed. Well, it's well known that there was a connection between DeRosa and Merckx.
Sure.
And folks from the Eddie Merckx factory went over to DeRosa to learn about frame building. And it is believed that this frame was built during one of those training sessions.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's kind of like a juxtaposition of Merckx and DeRosa.
Right.
You know, it has the same lugs. This is very similar to the bike that Merckx won the 76 Worlds on. It's got those really thin lugs. But what's interesting about those lugs is they look kind of like the cast lugs, but they aren't. Those are stamped lugs.
Wow.
Yeah, so
An
that's
interesting
and as another aside, supposedly, this bicycle was owned by Patrick Surkiu. Surkiu was Eddie Merckx's 6-day racing partner.
Oh, gotcha.
He was the most famous 6-day track racer of the modern era.
Interesting.
And Merckx and Surkiu were really good friends. So,
Gotcha.
you know, hypothetically, you know, Merckx in the early days, you know, saw this frame go to his friend. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
All right, now, I know you said this was special. Tell me about this bike.
Oh, this is the Micon Champion Team. This is their high-end race bike. And these bikes just ride wonderfully. They're just super stable, super quick. They're the equal or superior to really any great Italian bike of the period. Just lovely workmanship here. Just really nice details. Really, this is kind of a classic French finishing style of the chainstays.
It's beautiful. They're really rare. And every time I see one, they're destroyed, except for the one at your show. And
this one's pretty nice. This one's
beautiful.
definitely been used.
Well, no, but this is definitely a 9.5 out of 10. This is just gorgeous.
Thank you.
Oh, and by the way, if you don't know, if you ever heard of the Classic Bicycles Auburn, Mike is actually the author of that event. So keep that in mind. Hopefully we get to do that again.
Hey guys, I just talked to Mike Kone. He's doing Classic Bicycles Auburn again, 2026. So I'll keep you posted here on the channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video. Back to the collection.
Thanks for showing me this. You don't see too many of these at all. So, all right, we got more stuff here in the case. Got some what are those universal brakes? Some leather. Oh, got some interesting stuff. What in the world's up with that derailleur?
That
What's the
derailleur,
story?
Campagnolo introduced their parallelogram derailleurs in 1951 and 1952. During those 2 years, there were all sorts of iterations and changes. And if you look carefully at that derailleur, do you see how different it looks like than a typical modern derailleur?
Yeah.
It's less polished. It's kind of that gray finish. And check out those pulley wheels. Look at all those holes in the pulley wheels. So in 1951 and 2, there was some really... That was just.
What does it say, Grand Sport?
Yep,
Okay.
that was a period when it was being developed. We have shifters of that rough time period too. They say Grand Sport on the shifters. These down tube levers are actually made of brass. They're unbelievably heavy. They're like a boat anchor.
No kidding.
Yeah,
And they got the open C on the
yeah.
logo.
But these
which is a
are
little
these
different.
are real early, and there's the matching front derailleur as well that goes with that.
That's cool. That's really great history. And really quick on the cranks here. This is kind of
That's Campagnolo did a steel 3-arm crank, as a lesser price point crank.
wow, that is totally neat. Gosh, you got so much cool stuff here. I'm just going to take a walk. I got some cool photos. You guys really got to come here, guys. I'm going to do this. Watch this. You got to come and look at these bikes yourself. And I'm not going to show everything today. I can't. This video will be 2 hours long. But yeah, there's just some great things. And I am purposely skipping because I want you to come and look for yourself. Sorry about that, Mike, but I can't show everything. The video will be 2 hours long. But I want them to come and see what else you got.
And another thing, John, it also will change occasionally too. We're going to mix it up a bit.
Which is good because I know you have another location. We're going to look at some bikes. And I hate to say it, guys, I'm a lug fanatic, and I guess you got some cool lugs in your other location. Do you want to go next door?
Sure.
All right.
Let's go.
All right. Oh, before we go, let's see what you got here. Oh, a Zeus case.
Zeus is like that parallel universe to Campagnolo, and it's just got really fun character.
It. Oh, look at the holes in that. That's forged that way, right?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah. Those aren't aftermarket drillings. Those are. This is really sharp. Oh my gosh. Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, I don't have any Zeus in my collection.
Oh.
Which is a sin, I know. All right, let's go next door. What do you do in this building?
Well, this is kind of mission control for the mail order vintage bicycle parts business that I have. If it's late at night and you want to order some brake hoods or some derailleur cables or derailleurs,
or an old BMW?
Or an old BMW. Yeah, people trying to, that's not up for sale.
Oh, we got old Frejus. What do you say?
Frejus, I usually say.
All right. Well, they could beat you up in the comments, not me. All right. And you got a Hurlo.
Yeah.
That's Philip raised.
Philip raised Hurlo time trial bike.
Oh, it's a time trial bike. Okay.
Yeah. And then we got to do our environmental part here. So I sometimes take the orders to the post area by bicycle.
Oh, you got a Bob.
I got a Bob trailer.
I love Bob.
Then we've got.
Is that a Medici?
That's a Medici.
I used to call him Medici.
You could say Medici. The crazy thing about the Medicis is they're actually, check out the cool curve of that lug. That was a lug that was designed by Mario Confente, who's pretty famous in vintage bike circles.
Well, we're going to show a couple of those later, and actually another video we'll talk about him as a builder because I want to learn more about him. It's that name that just keeps coming up. Beautiful bike, and you got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we got all sorts of derailleurs, and as I say,
All right, turn around. Look the other way. Look the other way. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
all right, come on back. Guys, first generation was that it's a 77. It's not working.
That's a late first generation
okay,
super record.
First generation late 77. They started in 73.
Yeah,
right?
that one I'm having trouble getting that pride away from you though. I'm very protective.
I need that for my Specialissima.
I know,
and I'm willing to pay for it.
Yeah,
I don't have one in my collection, and it'll work on a Specialissima. If you have a 76, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
All right, and we got. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. You get bored of this all you want. I just love the look of a Nova Record derailleur. To me, it's classic styling. It's beautiful. You got all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah.
Is all this stuff on your webpage?
A lot of it is, but not everything. We've made some really big purchases lately, so I'm kind of scrambling to get more of it listed.
Gotcha.
And people can come here and set up an appointment, and we may have some limited hours later on. But people can come here by appointment. But generally it's pretty much mail order.
Well, I'll have a way they can get a hold of you in the description below. Oh my gosh, yeah, guys, look at this. It's treasure trove. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, this is neat. And then you got a drill press. Got to have a drill press.
Well, yeah, drill press and milling machine. I was using that a bit when we were doing the Renee Herse bicycles. Got a lathe back there.
Okay.
Got an old Craftsman lathe that I bought from a 96-year-old guy.
No, I saw one of these that Seth at Golden Valley just picked up. Was this like a catalog went here and then the parts were inside?
Exactly. And in
lockable case
in the early 1980s, Campagnolo provided that as a way of having shops be able to dispense spare parts.
Oh, okay.
And,
spare parts. All right.
Yeah, that was all spare parts, and it's really handy. You look in the catalog, say, I need one of those widgets. I remember in probably 1978, I went into a shop. I was missing a little pin for a derailleur.
Mm-hmm.
Guy looked up the part number, sold it to me. I'm like, Campagnolo is really cool offering the support. So it was
absolutely
great. Yeah.
And guys, I just been walking around his establishment, and you know, if you guys need soap wheels, I'm just seeing buku loads of rims, and pretty awesome. Even more.
Yeah,
Oh,
most of all that stuff we're just listing on our website as we get a chance and offering it for sale. You know, stuff that's already listed we have in bins so we can pull it quickly, and just derailleurs and chain rings and a lot of what we love. Small parts.
Oh, gotcha. You got your pivot bolts in here. You got your
Ooh, look at these. These are the
pulley
cage bolts for super record derailleurs for the second generation, where they have a recess for the head.
Oh, yep. Okay.
Those are real handy. So just lots of stuff like that. We do a lot of toe clips, chain rings, chains, Regina Black chains. Those are a real favorite.
Oh, sure.
Got a bin here, keep sorting it through, all sorts of Campagnolo bottom brackets,
Right.
including some prime Italian and British ones.
So they can just get a hold of you and call you if they don't want to go online. Right?
Yeah,
No,
usually
you have
we
to go
work
online.
online and by email.
Email.
Here's the thing, John. I love to talk. And
No.
if I take phone calls, hours will go by. People's hair will get gray.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, so
All
that's why I try to do
So,
email.
Well, I'll put his email in the description below.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you can admit that. I'm no better, by the way. I'm a yacker.
Yeah.
And, there's viewers that get a hold of me on something. We'll end up yakking for an hour. And
Can't be alloy freewheels.
Come on, look at this. That's an interesting though. 15 to 25. That's quite an odd deal. But you know what? I think for us mature cyclists, that's plenty.
We actually have 15 is pretty good now.
Yeah, well, it is.
I'm surprised how many people like freewheels starting in 15 and 16. And, with that kind of setup, you can actually make that work pretty well with a Campagnolo Super Record bike.
And I think the price in this is $19.95. $20.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
That's an inventory code number there. This is a fun unit. These are Campy Grand Sport derailleurs, but they're the same actually as what the Nuovo record was in a given year.
Oh, interesting.
So that derailleur out of the box can be a Nuovo record.
Oh, I see it in the box.
And then if I put it in here, well, it's now become Grand Sport.
Magic.
Yeah, but it just depends. They made that in like 78.
All right.
Oh, these are fun.
I have a few of these,
if you're
actually.
careful and set it up right, you can make a 1428 work with a Nuovo Super Record pretty well.
Hey guys, when you're done with this video, go to Facebook, put in the search engine John's Vintage Road Bike Garage. I started a Facebook group where we could talk together. I could learn a little bit about what you got, and you could ask questions. I could ask questions, and we could both learn a lot. So please sign up for that group. Hope to see you there.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, we have lots of freewheels. A lot of them are closer ratio.
Sure.
But for people in the flatlands, that's great.
Or if you're setting a bike, period correct, back in the day when you got your Jita catalog and your Oxnard catalog, and you see these bikes that were put together, they had the smaller cogs right from the factories.
Yeah, and when I look in old literature, you see mostly it was those tighter ratios
Right.
that were offered.
I think, was it 1321 was common?
Yeah.
All right.
And then I say we have a lot of chain rings, getting all these listed.
Sure.
A lot of these for Victory Triumph. We have, Nuovo Record,
Of
chain
course.
rings.
Look at the heck of a selection. here.
Basically, if people are looking for something, we don't have it on the website, they can just email me and I can tell them if I can come up with the item.
Yeah, I understand. You got great resources that are nearby that could help.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you got bikes somewhere else, right?
Uh-huh.
All right, let's go check them out. Can we do that? You got time?
You bet.
All right, set it. These lugs to me are just absolutely sick. Gosh, look at
Yes,
that.
yeah, check out this shark-shaped,
Name.
yes, WBH. Like chrome one known.
Oh, we also have a Rich Gangle. We have a Murray.
Yeah, discount store bike.
Hey guys, I'm sorry I have to cut this video now because it could be an hour and a half long. He has a whole collection that you're going to see. I just gave you a quick preview of it right there. And I'm excited to have a part 2, maybe even a part 3 of this Mike Kone collection. He's going to share more wisdom and knowledge about these bikes. So I want to thank Mike personally, and make sure you drop a thank you in the comments section below. He'll be keeping an eye on that. Mike. Next week, you'll see me finish up the Volare. Probably the most, let me put it another way, probably the least watched video series I've ever done. Maybe it's too long, but we're gonna finish up the Volare. And then of course we have a build coming on the Pinarello. We got my 1995 GT, which is gonna be really cool. We're gonna be heading up to Madison for the bike swap. You'll see a video for that. You'll see a video for when I pick up my RRB. And rumor has it, maybe Mr. RRB himself, Ron Boy, will help me assemble it here in the bike garage, or bike basement, whatever you want to call it. So exciting. Now, an update. I have not sold the garage yet. During the winter months, not a lot of traffic there. But I do have 2 people looking at it on Thursday. Pray for me. Hopefully we get that sold. Then we start looking for another property with a nice big outbuilding that we could, or humongous garage attachment where we can make the new John's Vintage Road Bike Garage. A little tongue-tied today. So, hey, thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button. You gotta subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. And, you know, a lot of you do, but you don't subscribe. 40% of my viewers are actually subscribed. The rest of you are not. So please hit that button. I'm only, I think right now, today is Tuesday, I'm 30 away from hitting 12,000. Hey guys, look at this. I'm at 12,000 subscribers. Thanks so much. Maybe I'll hit by then. You can check when you see this video. Hey, thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next video.